Okay, so I am live, but I want to change the camera so you have a better angle. And let me fix the cards, move them over a bit. So I'm really sorry that this has taken me so long, and it's been like eating away at me that I haven't done this for you. Let's see. Move that back. I don't want that falling off though. But I think, as I mentioned in one of the texts to you, I think one reason why I haven't done it for you on video yet is because, quite frankly, it's not that it was a bad reading, but I don't know how to like wrap it up for you and make it relevant to your life now. Because as I mentioned again in a text, this is called Healing Your Inner Child spread. And I'm going to go over each position with you and like what each one corresponds to like your childhood with. And I didn't rehearse any of this, so I'm sorry if I go back and forth and I seem to have no direction or anything like that. That's probably what it's going to be like. And I don't know how long this video is going to be. But, so I guess let's get started. Let's see here. Where should we start? Let me grab my notes over here. So I wanted to do this reading for you. I mean, I know it's been a while since I've actually done it. I did the reading on December 27th, and it is now January 3rd. So yeah, I mean, we had a couple holidays in between, and I had family visiting. So anyway, but yeah, I wanted to do this reading for you, this particular spread, because I feel like there's so much that you're going through in your life. And I want you to see if anything from your childhood, comes to mind, and just use that as like a stepping stone. Like everything is in the past, you can't change it. But when I did this reading for myself, I learned that, even though I can't change something, I can recognize that I went through it and I can let it go and expand and move forward from it. I kind of got like my own like starting point after that spread or that reading that I did for myself. And I'm kind of hoping that it can do the same for you. So that's why I wanted to do this for you. So I'm going to be taking some water breaks too. You can't see me, but not right now anyway. If you hear any long pauses, it might be me taking a sip of water. Okay, so let me start with the cards. So it starts down here. This is the card number 1. The position is how my inner child feels currently. And maybe I'll go through them again when I go around, when I do each one. But this one is the next one. What I lacked as a child. And this is the one that I had a discussion with you about through text. This one, card number 3, something that left my inner child scarred. This one, how that is affecting my life now. Card 5, something I can do to heal my inner child. Card 6, can you see it? Yes. How I can support my inner child. And card 7, the last one, a message from my inner child. Okay. So it kind of goes like in a circle. All right. So I guess I'm going to flip over the first card. Are you excited to see it? So this card, it's funny, like when I started to do the reading for you, like I kind of had like an idea, or like I was expecting to see a certain card somewhere in this spread. And when I flipped it over, the first card, that was the card that I was thinking of. So I wasn't surprised to see it, but I was surprised to see it as the first card. All right, let me pull it closer down. I hope you can see it. The light's okay. So this one is called the Tower. And a lot of stuff is going on in here in this picture. And hang on, I'm not leaning or not sitting close enough to the camera. Sorry. I know I'm so unprofessional. But this one's called the Tower, and a lot of stuff is going on. And quite frankly, this is the most chaotic card in the entire tarot deck of 78 cards. So that's why I was expecting to see it, because of all the things that you've told me that you've gone through or that you're going through with your family and your thoughts and everything else. I was not surprised to see this card. So again, this position, the first card was how my inner child feels currently. So before I think I go into what my notes are on this, I don't know if you can see anything, but this over here, this is the tower here. And then there's like this giant mouth that's like breathing like flames. You've got this giant lightning bolt back here. This is a diamond. You probably can't see it very well, but that's a diamond right there. And then you have these black carbon figures right here. Okay. So before I go into detail how I interpreted it, how does this card make you feel? Or do you think it relates to you right now? Okay. So let's see. How should I start? Like, I have notes about like what I was thinking, but they're not like, I can't like read them back to you. They don't like make sense when I just read them out loud. So I have to like kind of like put my notes together to form sentences. I'm gonna put that down. My hand's getting tired. And I need a drink of water. So unprofessional. But that's why it's free. Just kidding. So the first thing that I noticed about this card is, first of all, the tower, obviously, but these people, the tower is collapsing or falling apart. It's not straight, like it's very crooked. Okay, like here's a door here, and then it's like leaning abruptly, so it's really not a stable building. And then you have the figures here, the people made out of carbon. They're obviously jumping or falling off, being thrown off of this building and kind of into this fiery mouth down here. And that's common in a lot of the tarot decks. This is the only deck that I have, but the picture usually depicts people jumping off or falling off of this building. What's unique about this deck, though, is the people are made out of carbon. And like I said, there's a diamond back here. So it kind of made me think about how carbon has to go through such immense pressure, kind of like what I feel like you're going through right now. And once it's gone through all of that, it becomes this beautiful diamond, the hardest substance known to man, right? On the Mohs scale of hardness, diamond is a 10. It's the absolute hardest thing that we have, that we've discovered. And I'm sorry I keep saying all the time. I hate that, but I can't help it. Not now, anyway. So I really feel like that really resonated, and I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that you can see it that way also, because this card, out of all the other ones that I pulled for your reading, was probably the easiest I could relate to your situation. The other ones, and some of them, I'm still not even like sure of what it's trying to get out. I think because also I don't have you like here in front of me or like on the phone or anything like that. And, you know, I wasn't doing this right in front of you. I couldn't get any feedback, so I don't know like how to relate it to you. Okay, but we'll get into that later. So, okay, yeah. So I went through the carbon, and one thing I noticed once about this card, once I flipped it over for your reading, for whatever reason, I mean, it might not look like it, but for just whatever reason, I noticed like this kind of circle, like movement pretty much. So like the tower, it goes this way, and then the people, they're coming down this way, and then the fire, the mouth breathes fire this way back into the tower. So I'd never seen that before until I flipped this over for your reading. So it kind of just makes me wonder if like you're stuck in this really vicious cycle of this pressure and other things. So again, this position is how my inner child feels currently. It's almost like as if your inner child feels like you're stuck in this vicious cycle and does not know how to get out. Okay. So I think that's all I'm going to say about this card for now. That's all I wanted to say. Let me look at my notes again. Yeah, I think the only other thing I'm going to say about this is I think you need to learn a new way to cope with the pressure that you're going through, or the pressure that your inner child is feeling right now. Okay, because if you can do that, then that's the way you're going to become a shiny diamond. Okay. All right. So card number 2, this one, what I lacked as a child. And this one, I told you a little bit about what it looks like, but here's the picture. So this is the Prince of Wands. All right, and it depicts, this is the Prince of Wands up here. He's on this cart or chariot kind of thing, and it's being pulled by a lion. This is the one you might remember from the text. So again, a lot of, I would say, fire or ambition or passion between these two, especially this one. And this is the one I had to ask you about because, because this is a prince, a little bit about tarot, how to read tarot. There are certain cards, just like in playing cards, where you have the king, queen, and the jack. Those are the court cards of the playing cards. But tarot has a little different ones, but they're still like considered court cards. And most readers, and I think this is why I'm having a hard time, most readers see court cards as actual people or personalities, or the person's personality in the person's life. Okay, so that's why I wasn't sure. I'm like, is this someone that he's lacking? Like, did he or did you like lack like a male figure? So that's why I was asking about, like, was your father present? And it seems like he was, pretty much, right? And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes again. And you did talk about, I think, because I was looking too hard at, or trying to figure out like who this person was, but I think the thing I should have been looking at actually was the card itself. And I didn't get that until you told me. And I, quite frankly, like I asked you, like, what do you feel like lacked as a child? And I think that's symbolized here in the card itself, how you felt you were always moving from place to place, and how even you still feel that now, and how it worries you, which I think is fair. I mean, it sounds like you really have moved a lot. And, I don't know much about child psychology or anything like that. I don't even know how I'm going to get into that. But I know it has an effect on children, and as they grow up and they don't have that stability, it gives them anxiety. And then you also mentioned how your mother is a Leo. I don't know much about astrology either. I'm still learning a hell of a lot of stuff. Okay. So yeah, I think that's, I mean, you can see it if you want. If maybe you probably know more than I do. If you feel like you did lack a masculine figure in your life. But I think the key component here is the actual card itself and how you felt. I mean, even like I said, fire is it does not sit still. Okay. And there's a lot of movement in this card too. Like the lion is like running towards us. And yet he has no way of stopping it. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that one. I'm not leaving anything out. It's just, I still don't feel like this card I can get a bit better than another card that's going to show up in a little bit. Because that one card that's coming up, I still feel like I don't quite know what it's supposed to be saying. Okay, so the next, the third card, something that left your inner child scarred. And don't be frightened by this one, by this question, because I found this online. So let's see. So this one is, again, another wands. So this is the Prince of Wands that we had over here. Sorry, I'm moving the hand the wrong way. That's the Prince of Wands. So this is the Two of Wands. and it just picks 2 wands. So like not a lot going on as far as like a story going on, you know what I mean? But the word at the bottom says dominion. Let me look at my notes here. The book suggests, I have my books here in the background, which you can't see now, but I have some of the books over here. So as I was doing the reading for you, I was referencing some of these. And one of the books suggests that the card is about setting goals and feverishly pursuing them. So then I wrote, like, how does it leave you scarred, though? So that's why I think I was also asking you, like, did someone else make a choice for you? And was that, like, forced upon you? I keep saying, I'm so sorry. I'm reading my notes. And I wrote down how you feel like you lack stability and safety. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And then you did also mention that you feel like you were forced to be the adult in the room. So the number 2 is associated with decisions. Like, do you take choice A or choice B? You know what I mean? Like that. But I feel like because of the previous cards, a lot of things were put on you that maybe they shouldn't have been, or they should have been someone else's decision, but for whatever reason, you had to make those decisions. So maybe that is something, and this is not telling me very much right now, this picture, but I think that's really important for you to explore, and it might be uncomfortable to, do a little bit of soul searching for yourself about those choices and how that affected you. And like I said, when I did the reading for me, even, it took me a few days, but as I was thinking about it, just realize that those things are in the past, and you can find a way to, I just lost my train of thought. I got to think about something else. But those things are in the past, and you can be, it might not be today or it might not be tomorrow, but you will be in a better position for yourself, for your life one day. Okay? Like I said, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but again, you might have to make some more decisions. But this time, you say what those decisions are. Okay? All right. So the 4th card, how that is affecting your life now. This is the one that I still have a hard time trying to figure out, like trying to relate the card to the question itself. Again, how this is affecting your life now. So this is the Princess of Wands, and I shuffled these very well before I did it. So you see, you have here the Prince and the Princess. And again, court cards are usually thought of as actual people or personalities in the person's life. All right, and I'm going to tell you, like I said, I shuffled them very well. What I did for you is when I just shuffled them regularly, and then I took the whole stack and I put them down, I think like in 4 piles, and I just dealt like 1 card face down into each pile. So that way I knew that they were all separated, and then I just kept shuffling again after that. Maybe I'll do a demonstration after this, if I can remember. But yeah, so this is the card. Let me pull it a little bit closer. This is the Princess of Wands. And at first I got thinking, my first thought was, I don't really know how to say it, but when I first started talking to you way back on Chess with Friends, I forget what brought it up, but you had to tell me how you're transgender and how you, on the outside, you are Brandon, but how you feel inside you're Anna. Okay. And so that's the one thing that I feel might be the closest to relate this card to the question, how that is affecting your life now, how those decisions are affecting your life now, how these decisions over here, sorry. So that's why I wasn't sure if this card was supposed to be like your father, or if that was how you felt as a child, or growing up in like being a boy, but then as you got older, making decisions, and you had to tell people. You told me, right? That was a decision. How you are transgender, and on the inside, you feel like Anna. Okay, so that's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the Prince of Wands and then the Princess of Wands. All right, so I hope that didn't come across like insensitive or anything. I don't want to hurt your feelings in any way or offend you, but this is just what I was getting. That was just my first thought when I flipped this card over. Now that I've said it, actually, I kind of feel like that does make more sense, because that's definitely affecting your life now, right? But other notes I wrote down for this, because again, I was trying to think, well, what if this doesn't represent Anna? What if this is someone else in Anna's life? But yeah, now that actually the rest of the notes don't make sense to me now that I've said that. Because I got thinking, like, what if this person is me, and then this is Anna down here? This is a tiger on the bottom, and to me, it looks like it's sleeping, and it has like its tail like wrapped around the person's neck. And the books say that the woman is supposedly dancing. I don't know how she's dancing, but yeah. So yeah, I guess do with that what you will. But yeah, actually, I feel more comfortable now that I've said that this is how you feel now. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on from this one. The fifth card, something that you can do to heal your inner child. This is the 9 of discs. Okay. And the word at the bottom says gain. And again, not like there's no people or anything in here. There's just a bunch of circles and colorful lines. So it's kind of, the picture anyway, is kind of like this one. Very hard to interpret. Whereas these ones, like you can see like what's going on here. You know what I mean? So let's see. Again, something you can do to heal your inner child and gain. So I think this is a very positive card. All right. In other words, you only have, things to gain, feelings to gain, relationships to gain, things like that. So I wrote down, look for the best in every situation, and you will be certain to gain more out of life, right? You can gain joy, money, anything. You understand that you have the ability to manifest what you want, even if you won't admit it. You have had meaningful insights, and if you continue to explore them, they will guide you to the best possible opportunities. This card shows much promise. So I'm going to show you right here. You're going to see my notes from the night that I did this reading for you the first time. Oh, that's my phone. I need to get at that earlier. This is my notebook with pink pen. And I just read all this down here. All right. Sorry if you can't see that very well, but I didn't get that out of one of these books. Okay. I wrote that down. That was what, I guess that was much easier for me to interpret when I got this card. Because it's such a positive card in that position, how your inner child, how you can heal your inner child. And that's just all that came out. And I'm really glad I wrote that down. So I really hope that you take something from that. Okay. Now, the next card. Oh, now I gotta go back and see what this one was for. I gotta flip pages. Hang on. The next card number 6, how you can support your inner child. We are doing great here. We have another wands. This one is the 6 of Wands. And the bottom says victory. Okay. So again, it just shows a picture of 6 wands. What do you do with that, right? Let me go to my notes here. Okay, hang on. I just want to make sure that I can read all of this out loud. I think I can. Okay, good. So the Six of Wands, again, this is, I didn't get this out of a book. This is, well, I might have referenced something, but really what I went with was the word victory and how it is in the position, how you can support your inner child. Okay, so what I wrote, this is the fourth and final Wands card in this reading, as if a forest burning out of control. But it is a passionate fire, burning the overgrown forest of self-doubt. Trust in fate, you will prevail. You can support your inner child by believing in yourself. You have the power to attain what your heart wants. Got it? All right. So now the last card. Oh, I can't believe we're here already. How long has this video been? I don't think it's showing. 25 minutes. Oh my God, I am sorry. All right. So the last card, the position, a message from your inner child. I think you're going to like this one. In fact, I think you're going to love this one. That's a pun because it's this is the Lover's card. Let me get out of here. See, I hope you can see it with the, it's not too shady. All right, but you see there's two lovers here, and then there's like two children. I think there's an eagle and I think a griffin over there. But anyway, so again, a lot of duality, and I think that, oh, maybe that's good. I just had a thought, the duality of the male and female as is shown in these two previous cards. Oops, I dropped one. So it's not, I'm not saying that there's a marriage coming, I'm sorry. But there is a bond between these two male and female personalities or, personas, something like that. So that actually just came to me. That was not in my notes. And I'm just going to say again, I might have gotten that the first time I saw this card, but that one night when I was actually doing the reading the first time, as I said, I was texting you. It was getting late and I was getting tired and I was not focusing very well by the time I got to the last couple of cards. But now that it is not late and I'm not very tired, I can actually figure out what it's trying to say. And I think that's a really good thing because this is the last card. And as I told you, the main reason why I haven't done the video for you yet is because I didn't feel that there was a solid conclusion to it pretty much. But now I think we're getting somewhere. So now let me look at my notes for this one. Let me see if I can read this again so these last cards, the notes were a lot better. Whereas the first cards, I was just writing down like words and like sentence fragments. But these ones are actual sentences. So let me see. Okay, so these notes are kind of different to what I just said, but I would suggest you take both into account. All right, so again, another duality, choices, relationship themed card. Do you choose to let circumstances lead you, or do you choose to punch those circumstances in the face and go your own way? You are not alone in this. You are meant to make this decision. Your inner child is begging you to make the choice you are ignoring. Okay. I don't think I knew what I meant by that, but I think you know what I mean by that. Okay. That last sentence, anyway. So overall, there's a lot going on in this reading. Do you want a top-down view of it? Let me see. Oh, there's a glare, but hang on. I'm trying to get the angle right. That's what it looks like from my point of view. I think. Okay, so again, a lot of wands. And again, wands, because they're made out of wood, they're very fiery, can be very passionate, or it can be very destructive also. Let me get you back where you were. There. Okay. Yeah, fire can be very destructive. And things that I don't see in here, the other suits, you have one of the discs, but all the other ones mostly are wands. You don't have cups, which represent water, which also relates to emotions. So it's very imbalanced, is what I'm trying to say, as far as what the cards like are physically showing me. Like there's a lot of fire, could be a lot of destruction, it could be a lot of passion, but there's no deep emotion. The other suit, the last suit, will be swords, which represent communication and mental, I want to say integrity, but I don't know if that's right for this. But yeah, there's no communication here. Maybe your communication is blocked. How about that? Okay. So that stuff with the water, the emotions, and the communication. Like I said, now I'm looking at what's not here. Okay, so I don't have a card to show you for that. So, well, I think that is it. I hope that helped you. I think it helped me. I can't think of anything else to say. So if you have any questions, please text me or leave a comment. No one watches my videos, so no one else is going to see this. So yeah, the only other thing, I'm just going to prove to you how I shuffled the cards before, because these cards, when they're not shuffled, go together, okay, in the deck. And I shuffled them. Let me show you how. Okay, so here's the rest of them. So I shuffled them just like any other. Like I did this a few times. But to make sure that I was really getting them separated, because, you know, when you do this, you get little piles of cards that like that deck, right? So to make sure that they were all separated, I took the deck like this in my hand, and I just put down, you can't see it, but hang on, let me move these. And I just put one down at a time into like 4 piles until I was out of cards. So that way they're really being shuffled, they're really being separated. Okay, does that make sense? And then I put them all together, and then again a few more times I just went like this. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Again, I hope nothing I said hurt your feelings or offended you in any way. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm still very much learning. Do you see the size of these books? There's no way I know everything in there yet. So yeah, I hope you can see this sometime soon. And I hope you're having a great day. Mwah! Boom. Love you.